Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing okay. Now in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys a bit about that Everton result because we did win. We finally won away at Everton, which is great. We've not done it in ages. So I'm very, very happy we've won. I'm going to just talk to you guys about the game, and I hope to see a few of you in here. I have started to do a few of these live, and I hope you guys can leave me some comments to answer as well. We can talk through the game together. But yeah, honestly, my feeling overall after the game is that I'm literally just relieved we won, because whenever we go away to Everton, we just never win. The results never go our way, and it's a difficult place to go to. Everton are quite a physical team, so I generally just feel kind of relieved we've won finally. As Ian says, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Hey Doug, I hope you're okay. Yeah, finally a win at Goodison. Yeah, I'm just so relieved. Like, I was thinking in that second half, we really went for it, and I thought we had so many chances, and I was thinking it would be an Arsenal thing to not get a result out of this game. I felt like Everton didn't really have a lot to offer. I just think defensively they just tried to not let anything happen. And that was it. I don't think they did much in front of goal. I don't think they really had many chances. I would say Arsenal were quite in control. I think we dominated the first half. And yeah, I think we were much the better side. Tarek said, "Hi Sophie, so glad you won. I hate Everton." Yeah, I think, hey Harry, I think the first half, I think when we got that goal offside, I think that really dampened our mood. I just feel like, I will talk about it now. I feel like that goal shouldn't have been offside, and I'm not just sort of saying that because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't think any of the Arsenal players actually did touch the ball, and it wasn't offside for me. I don't think Eddie did touch it. It was an Everton player that touched it. So I think they showed us, I think it was a bad angle that got shown, and I don't think that was fair to be for an offside. And Martinelli's goal was a very Thierry Henry type of goal. It was such an excellent finish, and we do know Martinelli did go off injured, so I'm praying that it's nothing serious, because he's an important player for us. He was on the bench, so I'm hoping that, he's okay. I'm sure that indicates that it's not too serious of an injury and he will be okay. I do want to also talk about Fabio Vieira, because he did create that pass, and I feel like I'm really happy that Arteta started him today, because I feel like Arteta needed to take that risk. We know of Havertz, he's not really been getting going yet. I think he has obviously had a lot of game time and not really produced any assists, and I feel like Vieira has done really well with that. So very, very happy that he started. I want to talk about the goalkeeper situation, because Ramsdale did have a rest. Raya came in, and he got a clean sheet, which is excellent. I think Raya is going to be a great goalkeeper for us. I don't know if he's came on today because Ramsdale had game time for the international break, or if Arteta thinks he could do a better job than Ramsdale. It's obviously a hard choice to pick. I just feel like going forward, I think it's interesting to see who will win out of them two. But I know we do have like the Champions League coming up on Wednesday, so maybe it's good competition for them both to have equal game time, but not to have a rest, because Ramsdale sort of, we don't want him to get too exhausted either. So I think I'm really, really happy that Raya came in, did well. I thought his distribution was excellent. I thought he commanded his box well, and I just think he had a good game, and he definitely deserved that clean sheet. And I was a bit nervous going into this game, because it is a bit of a risk playing someone new in the goal. We've seen that Ramsdale does work at the back, so I was very nervous that it might not work, it might not pay out. But Arteta took that risk, and it did pay off, which I'm very happy about. And it will be interesting to see who will play in the Northland Derby next weekend, because that game for me is our most crucial one. Spurs, unfortunately, are doing well at the moment, and you can't deny that. They've won all of their games. But for me in that game, I would probably go Ramsdale, because we can't lose that game. Obviously, in the league, it's important, but for me, like, it's a London derby, North London derby, they're rivals. You've got to go in this game. to win, not to draw or to lose, to win. It's Tottenham, and I don't like them. So, yeah. Hey Victor, lovely to see you again. Hi Sophie. Overall, we played well, but the urgency in which we played in the second half is how we need to be starting games, and that's a very important point because in the second half, in like the first second of the game when it started, we were excellent and we had so much energy. We had this determination to get that win, to score a goal, and I don't think we saw that in the first half. We lacked that a bit of urgency, but I do think in the first half we were good. That was my concern in the game. I just didn't think in the first half we could take our chances. Like, I know Martinelli did take his chance. Obviously, it was offside, but I just feel like in that first half we weren't clinical enough, and that's what could have cost us. And that's why I did want to play Jesus, because when we need someone that's clinical, he's that guy. So, yeah. Hey, the Forest Zone. Hey, hope you're well. Absolutely hate this fixture, so I'm glad we got the 3 points. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this fixture isn't my favourite. I don't like it at all. I feel like I like to get this fixture over with, because something about playing Everton away from home is something that we struggle with. I did worry because I thought it would be a very Arsenal thing to do, to play so well, to dominate the game, but then for them to score. But luckily they didn't, and I didn't feel that when they had some chances, I didn't feel kind of worried because I feel quite comfortable. I feel Saliba at the back. When we've got such great defenders, you don't really have that fear. I feel like because they're so good at the back, I didn't think they would take those opportunities, Everton. But I think the crowd obviously can help situations. I did notice that when our goal was offside, I felt like that helped Everton a lot. Felt like they benefited off that. But yeah, I think that did kind of affect us in that first half. I think we just needed to get to half time to get to 0-0. We just couldn't concede. But I think, yeah, I feel like at times we were quite predictable with what we were doing, especially on the wing. I felt like we were sort of doing the same things, like our passes weren't great. We needed to create passes that Everton wouldn't think of, and I think we just needed to do different things that we weren't doing. It's like we always kept doing the same thing, like pass to Saka on the wing, try and get in the box. It was quite hard to get in the box at times because Everton were just defending. So it was so tough to create things. Did think Ben White as well did have a good game. I think in the first half, I think he had that excellent shot, and I just think he's able to create things, and I think defensively he did really good. But yeah, I'm just so relieved we got that win. However, I did predict a 1-0 win. Not gonna lie, going to this game, I actually predicted us to win at 3-1. I mean, I think with the chances we had, we could have got 3-1 because we did have quite a lot of chances. I think Zinchenko went for it big time in the second half. I think he just really wanted the goal. I think Arteta must have gave them a big talking to at half time, because when they came out in the second half, it was a very, we were so much better, which is great to see. We need to keep the back four together. Ben White had a good game. Yeah, I agree. Ben White was excellent today, wasn't he? I think he's very underrated. And like you said, I think the back four is so crucial to us being successful as a team. I feel like when that back four is changed, I feel like it interferes in our play a bit. I think we're not really the same. I think we struggle. So I'm very, very happy with that back four that it stayed the same. Arteta's not really changed much. Let's go the Everton who is gone. Yeah, I'm feeling so happy now. I'm glad that sort of drought thing is over. That we've gone like 4 out of 5 games without winning at Everton at Goodison Park. So I'm so happy that stuff's over now, and we've passed that and we've got that win, because I just think today I was not bothered how we won. Just get that win. That's what mattered to me, because it is a tough place to go to. Everton are very physical, and it was really hard to create things and make things happen. And I have seen actually online, I know rival fans will say this because they don't like us, but I feel like people have been saying it isn't the same Arsenal as it was last season, that, we're not the same. We don't have the same sort of rhythm and energy that we had last season. And I kind of sort of disagree with that personally. I just want to say that I think the Premier League is a lot more competitive this season. It is a lot tougher to win, and other teams are in the mix. Liverpool have managed to find ways to win in difficult moments. And I feel like these hard-fought wins have shown us that we do have the resilience to get these wins, get these 3 points. We do have it in us to keep fighting for the league. And like I've just said, it's going to be so tough because there's a lot of other teams now in the mix. Man City are flying. It's Liverpool. Spurs have had a good start to the season. Obviously, United and Chelsea haven't obviously done great. But I just think there's teams that are really tough for us to kind of break down. And Spurs next weekend is going to be a very important game for us. It will be a harder game than it was last season because they have obviously got a new manager, brought better players in. But I think Emerson has said, hard-fought win, and it's so important that we keep getting these wins. Not every game will play beautiful football and we'll score tons of goals. I just think we've got to keep this sort of momentum and get these wins even though it's tough. Which I agree with, and it's lovely to see you, Emerson. Victor said, love the depth of the squad. We have genuine options to call on when the plan A isn't working, and I think this is a very important point to make. I think, if Eddie Nketiah is struggling to score and it's not working, there's always the options to bring Trossard on, to bring on Jesus. Jesus has shown what a clinical striker he is, and he has this flair about him that I really admire. And I think, like you said, I think it's so important to have that squad depth right now, and I think that shows how far we've come and how much we've improved. And I just think it was good to change things today. I think we had to. I think we were kind of quite predictable if we sort of play the same team with Havertz, and I do think, I wasn't sure when I saw the goalkeeper situation changing. I thought it might backfire on Arteta because Everton is a tough game, and no, Everton don't always have a lot of chances, but sometimes they find a way to win, which is quite frustrating. But I think I'm happy Arteta took that risk. And change things up. Sometimes you do have to change things up. Tarek said Zinchenko was brilliant today. Some of his passes were exquisite. Yeah, I agree with that. I was seeing a bit of slander about him online, which I don't agree with. I think attacking wise, I think he offered quite a lot, and in the second half, I felt like we were so excellent. We were so hot. I felt like we went for everything a lot more. I think the tempo of the game rised, and I think we went for things more. And I did want to talk on Trossard as well, as someone said, Bossard, which I absolutely love. That goal was amazing. It was just what we needed. I think for him, it'll be great for his confidence. He doesn't always start, which I'm sure he wants to, but I just feel like he can be our super sub when things aren't going right, to get on the score sheet, to win us this game, which was hard to win. It's just what we needed, and very, very happy for him. I wonder, though, would he start next game? Would Arteta keep things how they are? Like Emerson did say, Martinelli's injury, I'm really hoping it's not serious because we really need him as part of the team. Like we saw today, he did get that great goal, and it was a very exquisite goal. It was like a Thierry Henry-esque type of goal. It was one that really is incredible to watch. So I'm praying, not too serious, but like Victor said, we do have the depth, the squad depth, that if it was an injury, we do have players that can help us with that. So I'm really, really hoping that it is not too serious because we do need him right now. And obviously we have got the Champions League game next week on Wednesday. So I think that is going to be key about, will we put a lot of strength out there? Will we rotate a lot more? I think we do need to rotate. I think the league's so important because we do need to win the league. We do need to keep competing. I know it's going to be harder because other teams are in the mix. But I just think we are going in the right direction. I think I was worrying that we wouldn't win today because I feel like we had so many chances and we weren't really converting them. And maybe this is something we need to work on. We did. We're lucky we have Trossard that scored that fantastic goal, but I think in the future we need to keep working on them chances. And I think going forward, I think I probably would give Eddie a rest. I felt like I don't think today was his best game. I think it's quite hard really because there's times where he comes on and really makes an impact, and there's other times that I don't even know if he's on the pitch. unfortunately, it's one of those things. I think we need consistency going forwards, but I'm grateful that we have got the options. We have got a choice to bring on Jesus, to bring on Trossard and Eddie and rotate that. And when we're in other competitions, that is exactly what we need. So I think going forwards, I'm happy with that rotation. But yeah, I think the most important thing today was getting that win. I'm very, very happy we did. It was giving me so much anxiety watching that game because we have seen the story before with Everton. It's a game we struggle to win in. I think for me a draw wouldn't have been good enough either. And it is obviously a tough one. Victor said Eddie is more impactful as a sub than a starter. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I think that when he does come on, he always has that hunger, desire to win duels, to win the ball and make things happen. And I think sometimes when he plays the whole game, sometimes he doesn't do an awful lot. So I do feel like he makes more of an impact coming off the bench. So I do think Jesus deserves more of an opportunity, or perhaps Trossard. I think Trossard has shown that he is good enough to be in the starting lineup, and obviously he did place Martinelli, and I'm just happy Trossard got that opportunity because he is a fantastic player. I know that Arteta probably does like to bring him on as that super sub because he's sort of like our Giroud back in the day. Like Giroud wouldn't start every game, but when he came on, he made that impact. He scored those goals that we needed to help us. So I probably think he's a bit like that, which is okay, but I'm sure he wants to start all the time. Victor said last time we won at Everton, Arsene was manager. So that shows what a massive win this was for us. Wow, I didn't actually know that. That is incredible. Yeah, I do think this victory is something we should celebrate a lot. I think that these games are tough. I think it's not always the top teams you play against that are the tough ones. We do know, obviously, Man City, Liverpool, Anfield are games that are tough, but I do sort of feel like these games are the ones that can be tough too, playing teams that are in the relegation zone. They're trying to fight to get as many points as they can. Like going to this game, Everton were on 1 point. I think they're sat in 18th, and you look at it and think, we must win this, but it is a lot harder than what you think. So, yeah, I think that's the progress we've made, and it's amazing. I'm very, very proud of the team for fighting through that win. It wasn't, the prettiest of games. I think we did dominate it a lot, but like I said, it's converting them chances in. Making that happen is the difficult thing. Talk Forest TV. Hey, lovely to see you on my channel. Hope you're okay. Yeah, I think it was a good game. I think for me, it's not still fun. Bit nervous because I thought this is a must-win game, and like Victor said, we've not won at Goodison Park since Wenger was here, which has been a long time. He was here in 2018, so it has been a while. But I think I'm just relieved right now. Hey Andrew, it helped that Everton are pretty toothless up front. Yeah, I don't remember a moment where I feared them up front, or I don't actually remember when they went up front and had a chance. I don't really remember Ryan making any amazing saves because I didn't think he had a lot to do with the saves. I think obviously his distribution was excellent, and I think he is a great addition, but I just think Everton didn't really have a lot to do up front. I think it helps our back four is solid and we are excellent at the back, but I just think that it's Everton that aren't great going forward. Defensively, it did make us hard for us to get past them, and I think we did have to keep pushing at them to finally score, which we did in the end. But I just think, I think defensively, I think we're solid at the back. I think with Saliba, with Gabriel, I think Saliba did make a few good interceptions and stop them from getting the corners. And I just think we are lucky to have great defenders to make us feel so comfortable and not worried at the back, because in recent years we have had defenders that I felt a bit worried about them making mistakes, but I feel like in this case it worked our way. But it is a hard-fought win at the end of the day, and we do celebrate it because we've not won at Goodison Park in a while. We can beat them at the Emirates 4 or 5-0, but when it's at Goodison Park, it's a different story. But I think we just got to appreciate this win and take it for what it is, and kind of just move on from it, knowing that we do have a game next week on Wednesday, which is kind of our group stage game. I think the game I'm more nervous about is the one against Tottenham, because I'm not losing to them. Like, I just can't accept losing to them. I just hate them, and I think the team will be up for it as well. But yeah, I'm feeling really optimistic about that win. I think it's what we need for our confidence, and I think the change has definitely helped us, which is exactly what we needed. And yeah, I'm so happy with this. Happy Trossard obviously got that goal that we needed, and for him, I do want to know, will Arteta kind of keep him as a sub? Will he start him next game? Obviously, we play Tottenham, which is nervy, but I do think we will probably rotate a few things in our Champions League fixture. But yeah, I think we do have the squad depth now to change things, which is something that we've got and we're fortunate to have. Last season, we probably didn't have the luxury to do this. Like in other competitions, we never had the luxury to change things, to change the team, and now we do, and we can afford to go for it more, go for other competitions, the FA Cup, League Cups, and obviously the Champions League. I do think we have this luxury now that we didn't have before, so I'm really happy. And also, while I'm talking, if you guys want to send me any questions in to ask me, I'm more than happy to do that, because I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying you guys asking me a few questions. It's always lovely coming on here. To those that are also new to my channel, please hit the like button if you can, and please subscribe, which would be great. I do love doing these sort of videos. It's lovely to talk to you guys about Arsenal. Even those that aren't Arsenal fans, it's lovely to kind of have you guys coming on my channel. But yeah, I think it's great to see you all here. I'll stay on for a little bit longer, maybe 10 more minutes. So if you guys want to ask me anything else, I'm happy to answer. But yeah, I think overall, I think this is really like a positive result for us, and I kind of still can't believe that we've actually won. I guess it's been ages. Another thing I did actually want to discuss today was Declan Rice, because in that first half, I thought he was excellent. I felt like he didn't put a foot wrong. I just felt like in that midfield, like the way he won that ball back, I feel like his athleticism is probably his best quality. I think in the first half, I felt like our final third passes let us down a little bit, and I felt like Declan Rice did excellent to sort of win the ball back, win duels, and he wasn't afraid to tackle and put his foot in it. And I think that was probably incredible quality that he's shown in that game. I think sometimes I just can't believe he's still at Arsenal. Like, we've got him. Like, it's hard to process that he's an Arsenal player now. So I thought he had a really good game, especially that first half. I felt like he was that one man in midfield, and Vieira was the one sort of producing passes, which was really what we love to see. So I think Declan Rice has really shown his quality, his worth, and it's obviously not the same without Partey. I think Partey and him both complement each other in that midfield, but I do also think Vieira did well today with everything he did, with his passes, with making things happen. And I think Vieira is really settling now into this Arsenal team. He's really feels like he's comfortable at Arsenal. It's the right team. He's slotting in well. He's adapting to the Premier League. I think sometimes as players, it must take your time. When you've been in a different league that might be a bit slower, this one is very fast. The Premier League obviously have some incredible players, and it's very competitive. So I do think that every season it does get a lot more tougher. So I do think he's adapting to the Premier League, which is obviously what we want to see. But I think, I think it's great to see that these players are definitely, improving and getting used to the Premier League. And I do actually have a question for you guys, which I'd love to know. On the wing, we have seen it has looked a bit predictable at times around the team. Would you guys depending on sort of Martinelli's situation, would you make any changes? Do you think Saka needs a rest? Do you think that if Martinelli's fit, you would start him? I think for me, I'd actually do want to see Reece Nelson get a bit more of an opportunity, maybe Trossard as well. I think in our game on Wednesday, this is where I'd probably change that. I think Saka needs a rest. I think he's exhausted. Obviously, he's playing for England as well, that international break, and now the club football's back. I think we should rotate. I think the wing as well, we need to rotate it a bit, especially in our Champions League game on Wednesday. I would probably play Reece Nelson, as I just think he deserves a chance. I don't think he gets enough game time that he probably deserves. I do think Kai Havertz will play on Wednesday as well, because I think obviously this game didn't play, came on a bit. And I was sort of surprised Arteta didn't play him. I think Arteta has shown a lot of faith in him, and he has played him a lot of the games so far, and we've not seen him being dropped. So I was personally surprised that Havertz didn't start today. But I do expect him to play in our next game. But I think I'm optimistic about our next game, and I think sort of the rotations is what I think will happen, especially as it's not really the Premier League. I think when it's these games in the Champions League, you kind of can afford to, make a few changes, maybe put a weaker team out, which obviously isn't that weak because we've obviously brought so many players. We've got a big squad depth now, but I think for me, I do expect to see players like Havertz maybe play. I don't know who would actually play in the goalkeeping position. I think I do want to see Ramsdale play for the North London derby, just because I just think Tottenham's a game we can't lose, just for pride reasons as one, but obviously for the league is another. We've got to beat them. I'm sick of them doing well. But yeah, I just think that's a game we must win. We have to put a really strong team out in that game. So I do think the Northern Derby for me is where I've got my eyes on right now. But obviously it's so important to get these points, obviously, in the Champions League. Hey Victor, Trossard needs more game time, but with PSV being a big game in the group, I don't see Saka resting. Yeah, it is a tough one. I do feel like Saka does need a rest though, because I feel like every game he plays, every sort of competition we're in he plays, and I feel like today he gets knocked down a lot by players, and I feel like that must affect him a bit. Does his body need a bit of a rest in these games, or would you maybe play him if it does well, take him off? But I would probably play Trossard in that game, as I feel like he deserves more chances. He scores a lot of the games he comes on. Against Man City, when he got that goal in the Community Shield, he scored in. I just feel like he deserves these starts. And I know he did start a little while ago, and he didn't really make the most of that opportunity, but today he did, and you must credit him for that, and I applaud him for how well he's doing, and that goal he scored was incredible. So hey there, nice win today. We needed your help to relegate Everton. Love that. Yeah, I think today going to the game, I did think we can't lose to Everton, surely. Like I said before, they only did get 1 point from that game, from the start of the season. So I do think to myself, it is a must win. But yeah, I think the most important thing is getting that win and kind of breaking that drought of not really winning in our latest, I think it's 5 or 4 out of 5 games against Everton. They've always won, but I do also have to say about Everton, I just don't think they're enjoyable to watch at all. I just feel like all they do is defend, and they don't really attack much. I just felt like if I was an Everton fan personally, I'd be a bit bored. I'd want us to go forward more. I'd want us to create things. But I know it was hard as Arsenal because they did dominate. We did dominate a lot. We did have a lot of the ball. And yeah, I just don't think they could get the ball off us much. And when we did, Declan Rice did win it back. So I don't think that they were able to do that. But I just don't think they really attacked much. I don't think they really made it difficult for us attacking wise. So yeah, I think overall I'm just happy that we got the win. I think our performance was pretty good, to be fair. I think the only thing I could say is probably making more chances for us and converting them. I think the offside rule, I think if we would have got that goal, I think we would have scored a lot more. I definitely think that affected our confidence. Because let's face it should have been onside, and I suppose it was tough for Martinelli because when he did score, and it missed, it probably did kind of affect him. He went off the pitch, and yeah, it is a tough one for Martinelli. I hope his injury isn't too bad, because I think for him it's not what we need right now, especially going to other competitions, like Champions League as well. So I think we need to hope for Martinelli's sake that it's not too serious. But I kind of don't think it will be too serious, because I feel like, for me, if he was on the bench, it probably indicates that he's okay. So yeah, I think we've got to sort of take the positives from today's game, and we got that win. That is what matters. So yeah, personally for me, I think it's a relief that I'm feeling. I think if we would have lost or draw, I wouldn't process it, because, like, if you look at it on paper, Everton are in a relegation zone, so it is a game we should win. So yeah, very, very happy, guys. I have been on here for a little while. I'll probably stay on for a few more minutes if you guys want to ask me any more questions. And yeah, I'll happily answer them. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream. I'll stay on here for like 5 minutes, so just in case if you guys have any more questions to ask me, whether it's about the game, or about Arsenal related, I'm happy to answer. But yeah, a big thank you to everyone who has supported me on the stream, who has kind of messaged me, like this video as well, as I enjoy kind of coming after the game, talking to you guys about the stream. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video, and if you guys have anything else to ask me before I go, I'm happy to answer any questions. So I hope it's okay now. Hope you can see me okay. Sorry about that. Do you think City are more ahead of us than last season? It's a tough question to answer. I think obviously we have injuries like Partey, potentially Martinelli, and Tierney's on loan, so we don't really have that backup if anything happens with Zinchenko. It's hard to kind of answer that. I'm unsure right now. I think potentially yes, because we haven't really won all of our games. We have, drawn one, and it's amazing that we are unbeaten. Like, we've only drawn, we've won most of them. So I don't really have any complaints about how we've played. I think there are questions about if we are the same Arsenal as last season. I personally think we are. I think we're just more resilient, and we're finding ways to win difficult games. We're doing more hard fought wins than anything. So I feel like we just need to be more patient this season. I think when playing Man City, that will tell me everything I need to know. How far apart we are. It's obviously a game I never like, because Man City do beat us most of the time. But I feel like with Declan Rice in there, I think when Jesus is in the striker position, I do feel more optimistic we're going to win. I think he takes some chances that Eddie doesn't, and probably think he's a bit better than Eddie. I think obviously Eddie's a great super sub and he's a great player to have at Arsenal, but I think Jesus' finishes are incredible, and like the Man United one, I think he did share his qualities. So I won't say we're far apart from Man City, but I don't think it's obviously quite early on to say, because there are other teams in the mix, like we know Liverpool. I'm not sure Liverpool will go for the league this season. I do think they'll go for top four. I think some of their performances haven't been that great. They have obviously got the results because they've got the quality. They've got quality players there on the pitch. But I do think, it'll be. I think we've got to give it time to see how it goes. But I just think, for me, take it game by game is what I've always gone by. And I think I'll know when we play Man City, but it's a tough question, really. What do you think Arteta sees in Havertz? Now, Arteta must really value Havertz. And, I do think there is a good player in Havertz. I just think we've not seen it yet. I think he's really done confidence, and Arteta has shown that he can get the best out in players. He has shown that, and I do think that's a good thing. I think eventually we probably will see the best in Havertz. I just think it's quite early on right now, and we do have to give it a bit of time. But I just think Havertz can do really well. He does work really hard on the pitch. You can't deny his work rate. I just think the chances you see at home or at the match, the chances he has, in my head, I do think they're very easy and he should finish them. And I know for him, if he's so incompetent, it is hard to finish them. I just think he needs to take them chances, but as fans, we need to give him that support and positivity that he probably needs right now. He's been at Chelsea. He's not been great there. He struggled, and Chelsea as a club are, I don't know what to say about them. The injury of Bournemouth, they're just a bit of a mess. So I feel like he needs to get out of that mess and come to Arsenal, come to a more of a positive environment. And as a club, we are improving. We challenged for the league last season, and I feel like we're developing, we're progressing. So I feel like this probably was a good time for him to come to Arsenal, where we're in a better environment than Chelsea are. But I do really hope it does work out for Havertz. I really do appreciate him, and I do think he wants to be here. He's got a good attitude. I just think on the pitch, he just needs to convert his chances, because I feel like if he doesn't ever convert them, there's other players that could come on and convert them, like Eddie Nketiah, Trossard, Jesus. But I think it's good that Arteta does give him time. He does believe in him and has the patience. So I just think as fans, we need to get behind him too. Harry says, do you think Arteta is slowly replacing Ramsdale? Now, that is a kind of a good question. I probably would say no, and the reason for that is I just think we need a bit of rotation. I think for Ramsdale, I think as a player, I think competition is healthy. When you are a player that plays in the starting team, there will be times where people will come in and compete with you, like with Tierney. Zinchenko has done that, and now Tierney's out on loan, and he possibly will leave. So I think that's how football goes. Unfortunately, never really want Ramsdale to be replaced fully. I just think when he replaced Leno, I remember how much stick he got, how much criticism he was under, and I just feel like a lot of people doubted him. And when he started, I remember it was against West Brom he played, and I just thought, I just knew straight away. I felt comfortable with him. I believed in him, and I do want Raya to succeed at Arsenal as well. It's a tough one to kind of answer. I do think Raya will probably play in other competitions to help us, like maybe the FA Cup games, maybe the Champions League games, because he is a great goalkeeper. But I just feel like we built this connection with Ramsdale, and we love him. We love his personality. We love what he offers on the pitch, and I think defensively he works really well with the back four. So I don't think he's replacing him. I just feel like maybe he might have rested him today, because he obviously had the game in the international break. And you might just think Raya deserves that chance, but I think we'll probably know more when we see the Northumberland Derby game, because I think obviously the game on Wednesday is a really important game, and I'm not overly bothered who plays in that game. I just feel like Ramsdale loves Northern Derby and loves to give it to the Spurs fans. So I really would like to see him play. But I just think I respect them both as goalkeepers. I suppose we've got more time with Ramsdale and we've built this connection with him more. So I feel like we need to give Raya that chance too. Because I was wondering, like, I was thinking about this the other day, like, when would Raya get that opportunity to play, because he never really gets it. He's not had it recently. I feel like he wouldn't want to be sat on the bench all the time. So yeah, I just think it'd be interesting to see what happens going forward. But yeah, I think they're both great goalkeepers. Ian, everyone hit like buttons. Yeah, I'd love if you could do that. I am enjoying chatting to you guys. It's lovely to have this to do this. So can Smith Rowe be your secret weapon further in our season? I really want him to get more game time. I'm not going to lie. It is hard. I think Arteta did the right thing today by changing things in the team. I think it was really important that we kind of made different changes. Like Fabio Vieira definitely deserved to come in, and I think he made that right decision. I think Havertz definitely needed a bit of a time away from this and come on later in the game. But I think that with Smith Rowe, I'm not sure why he isn't getting any game time. Like in my head, even for 5-10 minutes, he had surgery a little while ago. We had a big injury. It's weird. We won't sell him, but we won't play him. I honestly don't know. I think he will really help us in the season if we're not going to play him in the next few games. When we're struggling to think of ideas, I think he's really good at helping us with those ideas. And I really want Smith Rowe's future to be at Arsenal, but I just feel like right now I just don't see a future. Arsenal with him, he doesn't ever get any game time. And I feel like for him, it must be so tough because I remember when the time with Aubameyang there, when Smith Rowe, Saka played together, he was saying how he wanted to be a legend at this club, have a statue, and that would mean the world to me and us Arsenal fans. But I just feel bad for him. He doesn't get any game time, and maybe there's a reason for that, but unfortunately, I don't think he will. If he's not getting any now, would he get any more in the season? I don't know if he would, which is obviously tough to say, but I do like Smith Rowe and hope in the season, as the season goes on, he will get more minutes because we know he is a great player, and I feel like since the injury, I feel like he's kind of bulked up a bit. He's grown. He looks like a lot different. So I would give him minutes. But I do know there's a lot of, like Victor said before, we've got a big squad that's now. There's other players that you feel like deserve minutes. It's tough. We've got the options of like Trossard, Jesus, Eddie, and then in the midfield, there's so many, and I think it is tough. But I just think I would like Arteta to give Smith Rowe more minutes. Maybe we might see him more in the Champions League run. But I think since his injury, I think that really affected him. He was probably one of the most promising young talents a few seasons ago, and now he just doesn't get game time, which is it does hurt me. I love Smith Rowe, so I think regarding his future, I just don't know what will happen. But I do think if he does start, I do think he will have an impact of our season and help us in those moments where we struggle. So yeah, I love Smith Rowe a lot, but I just don't think if he's not playing now, do you think Arteta will play him? I don't think he will. But I just feel like if we weren't going to play him, maybe start him a few more games, as that's what he deserves. But I think it's probably going to have a sad ending because I love Smith Rowe. It's a real shame, really. But yeah. Guys, I really have enjoyed the stream with you guys. It's been so lovely to chat with you after the game. Please, if you can, smash the like button. Please subscribe. I will be back next week. I'm going to do a Arsenal vs Spurs preview as well. I probably will do a preview for the PSV game on Wednesday too. But yeah, I'll be back. Definitely, I'm doing a preview for Spurs fan, so that'll be very funny to see how that goes. But yeah, I'll sort of do previews for the PSV games on Wednesday too. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate you all kind of watching it, asking me questions. It's like great to get to know you guys as well. But yeah, before you go, please subscribe, please like, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.